This will be for the con assignment, volume of cones. Now, the formula for the volume of pyramids in general equals 1/3 base times height, where capital B is the area of the base. All right, in the case of a cone, the base is just a circle. All right, and we know the formula for the area of a circle is just pi r squared. Okay, so since capital B is the area of the base, I am going to plug in pi r squared in place of capital B. So we still have 1/3, and capital B becomes pi r squared. And we still have h on the end. Okay, so this is the formula we're going to be using for volume of cones. All right, so we have our formula. So that's going to be 1/3 times pi, and r is the radius. It goes from the center of the circle to the circle itself. Okay, so the radius r is just 6. So in place of r squared, that's going to be a 6 squared. And the height h is the distance from the perpendicular distance from the vertex to the circle, so the height equals 4. So in place of h, I am going to write 4. So once again, it says you can enter an exact answer in terms of pi. So I'm going to leave pi alone. All right. So on my calculator, I'm just going to leave pi alone, and I'm going to do 6 squared times 4, and then divided by 3 in that order. And I get 48. So I did 6 squared times 4 divided by 3, because 3 is a denominator. So I get 48, and I left pi alone, so it is still in my final answer. You click inside the box, type 48 pi, and it will give you the pi symbol. Okay, or you can just click on pi. And of course, the units are cubed, as they always are for volume, because when we did radius squared, the units got multiplied by each other, and then once again for the height, so that's 3 times. That's why the units are cubed. All right, so once again, we're using pi r squared h. We leave pi alone. R is the distance from the center of the circle to the circle itself, so that 2 is going to be r. So in place of r squared, that's 2 squared. Okay, and I forgot the 1/3 in front. Hold on a sec. 2 squared in place of r squared, and then for h, that is the perpendicular distance from the vertex to the circle. So the height h is 9. In place of h, I'm going to put a 9. Okay, so I'm going to do 2 squared times 9, and then divided by 3, leave pi as is. Okay, so just on the calculator, 2 squared times 9 divided by 3, and I get 12. So that is your final answer, times pi. Alternatively, if you want to practice canceling fractions, since we're dividing by 3, you can look for something that's divisible by 3 in the numerator. Okay, so we know we can divide 9 by 3. So 9 divided by 3 is just 3. And then you can do 2 squared times 3 on the calculator. And again, you will get 12. Okay, and again, you still have pi in the final answer. So click in the box, type 12 pi, and it gives you the pi symbol. All right, last one. So our volume is 1/3 pi r squared h. All right, so we have 1/3 times pi. R squared, here's r right here, that's going to be 3 squared. h is this distance here. That's going to be 4. Okay, so 3 squared is 9. 9 divided by 3 is just 3. And we're left with 3 times 4 times pi. So that's going to be 12 pi. So some of you may be able to do some of these in your manually by hand. So you just type 12 pi in the box. Okay. All right, so I wanted to do one more because students were asking me what happens if the number is not divisible by 3. All right, so I changed the number on this one to a number that's not divisible by 3. Most of them are, but I wanted to show you what will happen. All right, so here's our volume of the cone formula. We start with 1/3. We multiply that times pi, and then times r squared. This right here is the radius, so that's 5 squared. And then the height h is this right here. That's 7. Okay, like I said, I changed the number, so I'd have one that is not divisible by 3. Now, we said leave pi alone. And on the calculator, I am going to do 5 squared times 7 divided by 3. And I get 58.3 repeating times pi. Okay, we cannot enter a repeating decimal in the box here. All right, so since this is not divisible by 3, I'm going to show you what you do. What you would do is just do 5 squared times 7. Okay, so I'll do 5 squared times 7, and I get 175. And that 175 is divided by 3. So you just leave it like that, and then it's times pi. Okay, you can put the pi out front, or you can put the pi in the numerator. That's the same thing. All right, so what you would do is click inside the box, and you type 175/3, and then you click the right arrow key and type pi. So it's 175/3 times pi. Or you can type pi when you're in the numerator. Okay, so you can just type pi, and you have the pi in the numerator. Like we said, out front or in the numerator is the same thing. Okay, now if I click check, it's not going to work because this problem originally had a 6. Okay, I had changed the number to 7. But that's just an example of what you would do if the number is not divisible by 3. You'd have to make it a fraction and have your 3 in the denominator. Remember, times 1/3 is the same as dividing by 3.